weekend all. I'm Epstein, and here we are with your weekend edition of your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up. And this is for Sunday, and we're at the 19th of January 2025. As you know, the stock market is closed on Monday, so I took advantage of this, watched a couple of the playoff games, and just taking it easy. For many of us in the Midwest and the East, you're looking at weather that's unbelievable. It is cold. If you're in the Midwest, I mean, right now in Chicago, it's about 8 degrees. It's going to be a high of 3 by Wednesday, and you can imagine the lows are going to be below zero nicely. These are not with wind chills. Those are raw temperatures. And then magically on the weekend, we'll be back into the high 30s. So this is now coming to the point where we get that up and down weather, but this has been the coldest part. What hasn't been cold is the rally in the stock market, as you know, and the rally has been impressive as everything was up on Friday. Early evening trade in futures is down in everything. But this is the up and down you'd expect. You're going to get light trading in futures as we get early closes tomorrow, but the markets are open tonight. So you want to pay attention to all that. And when we look at everything, you can see that you saw TLT, a little bit of a gain, BND. So we're watching some of the yields not taking off, giving back a little bit. AMC, still 350. I said I wouldn't be surprised if it's a $3 stock soon. GLD down a little bit. Schwab down a little bit. I noticed that Home Depot got a good rally, by the way. NVDA gaining a little bit. Microsoft did that as well. So I wanted to cover something a little different because we have no news coming out, obviously, tomorrow. And actually, for the government news, you're not going to get anything on Tuesday. It all begins on Wednesday again. I wanted to look at race, which is Ferrari, because it had gotten up. The price earnings, if you look at that, you can't look at this stock because it hit 51.5. It's back to about 48 right now. But it's such a phenomenal stock. And people will go, well, China. China amounts to maybe, at the high point, 8% of their business. Louis Vuitton, about 30%. There's a huge difference here. And there's a new F80 race car for the street. That thing will only go for $3.8 million. You'll go, well, how many can they sell? They can sell all they can build. Let me start you with that. They'll be sold out before you know what's going on. But first, it goes to the collector type guys that buy. And if you don't know the culture of Ferrari, if you get into their supercars, you will get a call when the new ones are coming out. You have to take it or you're off the list. How do I know? Got a great friend that did this for years upon years upon years. And not all the cars make money. The vast majority do. You're barred from selling for generally a 2-year period, by the way, after you own the car. And after that, you can do what you want at that point. And Ferrari is very strict about it. In fact, there was a dealership in Las Vegas, and they lost the dealership because they allowed somebody to sell the car early. So you have to understand the culture that's there. And you'll go, well, it's 3.8. A starter Ferrari is $250,000. If you're looking, and I was looking at the Mecum auction over the weekend. A 1987 Testarossa was $285,000. So you see that what goes on. I've had one, not the Testarossa. I had another version of it. Loved having the car. Fun until they get older. And then, of course, they're very expensive to keep up if they're drivers. If you buy the collector cars, you're not driving them anyways. It's rare. You take them out for a holiday. That's how it works when you own those type of cars. In any case, you can see higher lows. Watch this. You took out the high. All right. So is this a trade bottom? Remember, this is a weekly chart. And you had an outside week up. So it's not a continuation pattern. This could be the start of a new trend if the market doesn't take out this week's low of 414.41. The first resistance point would be the 450.92 level. The Bollinger Band's way up here, so that's not in play. The market did hit the Bollinger Band twice before we had this outside week up, and you have an oversold condition. So what I'm looking for is more short covering, those coming out of the play with the market coming down from roughly the 500 level in about a 20% drop, and now to get back up into that 451 level and have some fun. And for me, it's fun to watch stocks like that. If you look at BROS, Dutch Brothers, New highs on the whole move, still embedded. This stock has just been on a tear to the upside. I was reading Barron's over the weekend. A lot of people are talking dominoes coming to life again, so that should be interesting. In Netflix, we get earnings this week, so you want to keep your eye on it. This has been the correction I've been looking for. I think the market's got to make a decision. Can it hold the 821 level? Very important level for it right now. On the MCHI, the Chinese stocks, you fell into the 100-week average, and I would think that's where first support's going to show itself. If you take out not this week, but last week's low, that's when you get careful. You get under this 43, and let's see what the exact low was. It was 45. No, there it is, right here, 45.99. Yeah. Then 43.70 and 43.71. So take out 43.70 and you probably go to wherever the Bollinger Band is. Don't take that out. Look for a battleground at 48.37 for the market to try holding. I still don't think China's done enough to make their markets rally, but we'll see. You know, with the inauguration tomorrow and Trump trying to be friends with Xi and the vice president of China coming in, vice premier, I should say. So this is going to be very important as to what goes on. When we go to Home Depot, the first thing I looked at was how the market got back to the 18-week average of closes, and it broke this downtrend that it had. So this market's out of that pattern. It hasn't begun a bullish pattern yet, but it is certainly out of the bear pattern at this point in time. When we look at Meta, I'm looking for the resistance right where I've been telling you for a month and a half. We've been covering it, and I said, I don't think it's got the power just yet to pick up and run through that. If it does, then we get a breakout to the upside. I'm waiting for it. It's very difficult to buy it here to get up to that Bollinger Band and think it's going to break out. I'd rather come in after the fact. Here's something real interesting. When we come to KRE, let's see if it'll let me move it back. I don't know if it's going to. There we go. That's what I wanted it to do. Outside week down. Then the market has, and this was the week of January 10th, all of a sudden we have a market that reverses course, takes out that high. So until it takes out these lows right here, let's call it the 58.80 level, you've actually opened the door to go back to the 69.18 level. Very interesting. Look for battleground to be the 18-day average of closes. In XLI, a big outside week to the upside. As we're getting these outside weeks, what happens is you break the downtrend that we've had, and now the markets go to neutral trend. And that's where I think we're at. I think the markets are going to a neutral trend in front of the Trump inauguration, and in front of, think of this as a pen, the scribbling that's going to go on as President Trump starts signing all these presidential orders that he's been talking about, supposedly 100 of them. When we look at XLE, I mean, you talk about pretty crazy markets. You get to the lower Bollinger Band, you go to the upper band, you fight at the 18-week average, you go up, down, and back. If you think you can catch that, you're one of the best traders around. Very difficult because none of that's trending. What that is are momentum trades, up and down. Very hard to catch those because where do you put stops? On UUP, the dollar index, well, the dollar gets in trouble if you take out 29.25. If it doesn't, there's a gap up here that can still be filled, and I've been saying that wouldn't surprise me. Gold is still in the uptrend. Are you watching that Trump Bitcoin? Well, I should call it a cryptocurrency that came out. Fortunes are being made. You know, the last time one of these came out, it wasn't his, and there's another one from another person. This one supposedly is with his blessing. I don't know enough about it to know if he's making money on it, nor do I know if it's legal if he is. Higher lows, higher highs. We'll see what the market does up to the Bollinger Band. But until this low is taken out, right back through here, I think the market is looking pretty good on the upside. Then we get to the copper. How often were you hearing me tell you, and I was over and over saying, it's going to be hard to push it right through here with one swoop. And because of that, and this is a weekly chart, been here 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly 6 weeks. So a month and a half just stuck in those moving averages, and the market is trying to come out to the upside. We'll see if it's able to do that. So you put it together, you come up with a game plan, and I have one for you. You know, my goal is really simple. Can I come up with a trade or two that makes sense to you, that you were sitting there wanting to do a trade and you get reasons from me in the morning videos and you go, darn it, he's on to something. Maybe I should go with that idea that he had for me there. And that is exactly what I try to do for the traders, all right? I'm not trying to be a wise guy here and come up with something you probably don't have your own ideas on, but I cover every single day, 40 some odd charts. I rotate them on a regular basis, and each one of them has buy here, sell there, and I track the trade from the moment I put it out until you come out of it. It's that simple. All right, do I want to manage money? No. Do I publish a track record? Well, in its own way, because I cover the trades that I'm recommending as open, but I don't publish one all the way through. What good would it do? All right. I don't want to manage money at the end of the day, and I don't want you to come in with me because this trade worked. I will have plenty of losers. If you think you can find an analyst that doesn't have a loser, you should go with him. All right. What happens with most is they'll come into it and they'll go, I like it a lot. We're going to stay with it. Oh, it's going against us, but it fits into the portfolio, so we're going to keep it. And they keep it and keep it and keep it until eventually it comes back. And you hope that if the company stays in business, as you know, the stock market has a way of going to record highs over and over, decade upon decade. All right. Doesn't change. So maybe that works in the end, but that's not what I'm about. I'm about trades. And trades can be good. I mean, I've had people since December of 2023, and we're still tracking it in our update in the video. We bought Boeing mid-year last year. I can go on, and you know that those have come done fairly well. Have I had losers? I'm going to repeat. I want you to understand it. You're going to have losers. Name of the game is to have stops to play it off the charts. I'm not about investing, not in any manner. It's all about trading. And when a trade goes bad, out you go. Could it be any simpler? To find out more, just go to irapstein.com on the top right, research, or move your cursor up to the top here, and away you go from there. Take the video, see what you like, see if it makes sense for you. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great day. I'll catch up with everybody Tuesday morning as we get into the SPDR ETFs and everything else one more time. Remember, a lot of markets close tomorrow. Take care.